Ladies and gentlemen, this is the craziest sugar honey iced tea that I've ever seen in my life. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the House vote and also the Senate approved to release the Epstein files. We have Shawn Ryan interviewing Charlie Kirk's head of protection, which I think debunks every single myth that's out there. I don't understand how people still have a platform after this. Marjorie Greene is still a nut, and you know, people cannot stop themselves from being completely retarded. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go home today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Do all of that good stuff. You already know what to do. Make sure you get my Espanol channel because, believe it or not, your boy can speak Spanish in AI. Okay, now, let me just say this real quick, right off the top. I think 30% of my brain is consumed with how stupid people are. I can't believe it. I cannot believe how stupid the average person is. I'm watching people's live streams. I'm watching social media. And people have lost their God-given mind. They cannot process information for themselves. They do no research. They follow the Joneses. And people who are good, who tell the truth, are the ones who are shunned temporarily. And I think it's temporarily because once the rubber hit the road and you find out that these people have been lying to you for money and clicks, some of y'all gonna snap out of it. But I will say this with my whole chest. If Charlie Kirk came back to earth and he appeared unto us like Jesus did, and Charlie said, I was not betrayed by Turning Point. It was not Israel. Do not believe the conspiracy theorist. People will shun Charlie. They will look at him and say, you liar. You don't know what you're talking about. I put that on everything. We're going to get to Shawn Ryan's interview with Brian Harpole because everything that I've been saying, and I've never talked to the head of security, everything that I've been saying, he debunked. All of the stuff that, well, he confirmed what I said and debunked all the lies that I've been trying to help y'all debunk. But let's start with the House vote. Epstein. Let me put this in perspective for you real quick. Let's go to clip 001. I think this is going to end up being a nothing burger. In the comment section, I want you to let me know what you guys think about this. I honestly think this may be a nothing burger. I think that people, there is money and there's fame, there's clicks, there's platforms rooted in conspiracies. And I think that a little bit of information that people have, a little bit of impropriety, a little bit of shadiness that go on, people spend their whole life and platform to build that out to be something. Republicans incessantly made it out that, you know, Epstein didn't kill himself and all this thing. Everybody's so connected. They had the fall cabal stuff. I mean, everything was out there. And then Republicans get in the office and now they're saying, oh, there ain't nothing there. There's a part of me, and I'm not completely convinced until we see actual evidence, there's a part of me that think that what happened was Republicans jumped on the bandwagon because it hurt the Democrats, because Bill Clinton was involved, allegedly, because all the Democrats had something to do with Epstein, and it was a whole leftist Democrat thing, and Republicans had all these conspiracies, and then Republicans get in the office, and they realize, the same people that have been pushing it to us realize there ain't much there. It's not as sexy as we thought it was. And then now the Democrats see that there's an opportunity against the Republicans because there may be an email or two that mentions Donald Trump, which they didn't care nothing about when Biden was in office. Didn't give a flying flip. There was no article. There was no CNN contributors doing nothing. It didn't exist at all. They didn't say nothing. And some of y'all willing to fall for this okie doke. If Donald Trump was implicated in the Epstein files, they had 4 years to shove it down his throat. They literally indicted him. They tried to kill him. They charged him with 34 felonies, creating an exception to a crime that now they can prosecute him on a felony. It had passed the period of time in which they can prosecute you, past the statute of limitations. They went up and beyond to give him 34 felonies so he could never run for president and he could be shunned, and he still won. If you think that they wouldn't shove it down his throat that he had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein for 4 years and they just decided not to do it because they feel bad for him, it's insane. Let's play the vote.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And that's just an example of it passing the House. It passed the Senate. Now it's going to President Donald Trump's desk for him to sign it into law. Now, Donald Trump has already said that he is going to accept it. He's going to sign it into law and let the chips fall where they may. I honestly believe if Donald Trump was somehow going to be implicated in this, he would just postpone until he's out of office, wouldn't he? But the fact that he's now lamenting to this, I think that his theories are going to end up being true. Donald Trump has been insanely correct about a lot of stuff that most people thought he was a complete liar and he was out of touch, which I thought he was out of touch the way he handled the Epstein thing, but he may just be involved, knowing something that we don't know. But let's play a clip of what Donald Trump has said in a response to some of the shenanigans that's going on with Epstein. Wrote a clip.
Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. All I want is for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages, 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that many of the people some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for I don't. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
Now, this is my thoughts on this. I'm leaning towards agreeing with Donald Trump on this. Like, I think the reason why he made the statements and the steps that he did was because I do think it's going to end up being a distraction. Just think about this for a minute. Why did the Democrats make this a priority after we ended the shutdown? They didn't mention it during the shutdown. They didn't really mention it before the shutdown. After the shutdown and they got embarrassed in front of the world, they now bring up Epstein. I mean, literally the day that the shutdown was announced that it was over, they bring up Epstein. Now, this is what's going to happen. They're going to release the stuff. And like Trump said, it's never going to be enough. And once we get past that point, people are going to end up seeing that it was the Democrats or not, and they're going to lament on this for years to come. Donald Trump may actually be correct about this. I'm afraid, too, that it's going to come out. It's going to be the Democrats. We're going to talk about the Democrats for a period of time, and then people are going to say it's never enough, and that they hiding something, and that the Republicans, and then it's going to detract for a long, elongated period of time, and nobody's going to be talking about the things that the American people really care about. Is Epstein files important? Yes. Will they change your life? No. Give me the beat. No. No. All right? It ain't going to change your life. I'll give somebody $100,000 if somehow the Epstein files is going to drop gas prices, inflation, the interest rates. Somehow you're going to be able to afford a house because we found out Epstein was P. Diddy times 3. Somehow you're going to be able to afford, somehow your credit score going to be better because we found out Epstein did what he did. Somehow your wife that you divorced is going to come back to you one day and say, honey, I love you. I don't want Tony no more. She cheating with Tony. Tony throwing it, man, and she couldn't help herself. Somehow, some way, we're going to find a way back to the center. Everybody's going to unite under Jeffrey Epstein. It's not going to freaking happen. What are we thinking? But I'm in agreement. Let's get it out there. Let's see what the stuff. I'll cover it. But let me get to Marjorie Greene real quick. Because this nasty heifer, this nasty hamburger heifer, I ain't never seen nobody in my life be this fake. It's a couple other people, but she top 10. This woman spent her whole career being hyperbolic, yelling at everybody, being the face of everything. She talking about, she stand in front of the Star of David. I stand with Israel. Remember that? I don't know if y'all see, we had that clip yesterday. She's standing in front of the Star of David talking about anti-Semitism. And all of a sudden now, the biggest threat to America is now Jews in Israel. And don't let these cowards lie to you, and I'm going to move on. Don't let these cowards lie to you. They go, I'm just asking questions. No, they're not. They're asking rhetorical questions that they already know the conclusion to, and they just want to put it out there to confuse you and make you start thinking about something that they silly selves thinking about. Listen to her press conference where she plays the victim. Clip 202.
And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor.
You are a traitor.
By a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people whom we serve as representatives here in Congress demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that. While I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation, which is something I've had a small taste of.
All right, I'm through listening to this broad. Okay, here let's put this in perspective. She talking about traitor, and I'm not the one put people personal business out there, but you traded to your husband. You want to talk about Marjorie Taylor? Y'all forget that her husband, Perry Greene, filed for divorce in September 2022, citing that his marriage was irrevocably broken. Allegedly, this stemmed from 2012 when Marjorie Taylor Greene worked at a CrossFit gym in Georgia and say that she allegedly had an affair with two men, one described as a sex guru and the other was a gym manager. She claimed that it didn't happen. Why your husband divorced you? Somebody saying she was, I'm trying not to say it because I'm a good Christian. She was got 3,000 on somebody. Go ahead, there you go. Allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because there's no unequivocal proof, but her husband left her. I think you a traitor. I think you the traitor. And let me add this. You did turn on Trump. You're gonna say, I supported Trump all this time, and then now he do it. No, you supported Trump, and then you go on television and bash the man and say he didn't accomplish nothing. And y'all are worried about Epstein. You know how stupid you are? I'm just gonna call you out for it. I don't care what people think about me no more. Y'all already say I'm getting paid by people and all kind of sugar honey iced tea. Listen, if you think you're gonna not support Trump because of Epstein, you are stupid. You're stupid. With everything that Trump has done for this country, the first term he ran, the second time they tried to kill him, all this stuff. And what he's doing with the economy, the wars that he's prevented, the world peace that he's been doing, they love Trump around the world. And y'all mad at Trump over Epstein. I'm done with that. Let's get to Shawn Ryan real quick. Now, this is where people should lose their platforms. I'm telling you guys, I've warned you 100,000 times. These people are lying to you. They are lying to you for clicks. They're either, I think some of them are mentally ill. Some of them are just flat out lying to you because they got the grift down. They know how, they got the algorithm down. They know if they tell you, look, I got this information. Now, I'm not going to give you the information. I'm just going to get you to the next time I tell you I got the information. Now, I'm telling you, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, sister, brother, listen to me clearly. If I knew something about Charlie Kirk's investigation that'll bust it wide open, I'm going to tell you today. And I know my show may be, I don't know, what we do, an hour show. If I knew something that was against my friend that I think you need to know, we'll do a 4-hour show. You want a 4-5 hour? Let's run it all night. We're gonna do the show through the night. Stay up. I'm pushing receipts all night. You will never catch me saying, oh, we're at an hour. Oh, sorry. I guess you can't know until next time I do an hour. Next month, I'm going to tell you what I really want to tell you. I ain't never been. Charlie is catching on fire. He's rolling his grave so hard. Put this together. Everybody that loved Charlie and he loved is lying about him. Everybody. You to put your thinking cap on. Everybody. All right, let's get to this clip real quick because I got some. Matter of fact, before we start this, can I prove something to you guys real quick? I'm gonna need my computer. I want to prove something to you guys. Everybody that you've seen, Valhalla or whatever his name is, I used to like the guy. He made a thing about Kennedy that he exposed him. I was like, oh, this guy's a veteran or whatever. I like everybody that's online right now that have told you it's impossible for somebody to get a shot with a 30-06 and live. It'll blow his head off and it'll do all this. I want you to take two things in consideration. One is that it's fair to put that in perspective. But the second thing is that why have you not heard of any of them talking about Martin Luther King? Let me find my little clip. We'll put the link in the description section for all of y'all. Let me find the clip real quick. I got it. Martin Luther King was shot with a 30-06. No exit wound. I'll put the clip in for you. This is the evidence. James Earl Ray, he purchased the rifle. Let's go down to the text here. You can see my cursor. Dr. King was killed by a Remington Peters soft point, metal jacketed bullet fired from a high velocity 30-06 rifle. He was shot from about 200 yards away. And I read this already, but the shot apparently went into his chin or somewhere in his jaw. It like went out, came back in, went out, and went into his neck. And no exit. It's almost identical to what happened to Charlie. Shot with a 30-06 from a distance. Entered, did not exit. Why are your favorite people talking about Charlie and acting like it's so mind-blowing to think that it has never in the history of humanity has it ever happened that somebody got shot with a 30-06 and then blow their head off? Well, it happened to another person who was assassinated, Martin Luther King, one of the biggest, most prominent assassinations to ever exist. And your favorite people won't even bring up Martin Luther King. Why? Because they need you to believe that there's nowhere in the world that Tyler Robinson did this. Okay, come on. Come on, pull it up. Let's pull up. Let's get to the interview. Shawn Ryan, y'all been waiting for me to talk about this. Clip 106. Let's start from the top. Shout out to Shawn Ryan for doing this.
Starts off with an introduction here. Brian Harpole.
Hold on.
A highly...
Let me frame it real quick. The reason I put this introduction in here is because some of y'all are stuck on stupid, smoking the devil's lettuce and sniffing the sauce. Y'all think that, like in a vacuum, you think these people that were defending Charlie and supporting Charlie is somebody they found on the street that was a rent-a-cop yesterday. Do you think, go look at Turning Point logs. I bet they were spending millions of dollars a year on security. You think these people, okay, listen to his credentials. Roll it.
But everybody starts off with an introduction here. Brian Harpole, a highly decorated law enforcement veteran who served as a police officer in Texas for 14 years. In 2008, you entered the private security world as operations manager for an elite Texas-based security firm, where you specialized in executive and personal protection. Now you are a global private security contractor and trainer running your own company, Integrity Security Solutions, across 5 continents. A graduate of Columbia College, you earned a Master Peace Officer license from the state of Texas, along with graduating from the International Law Enforcement School of Police Supervision in Southern Methodist University's Cape Intelligence Program. Most importantly, you are on the stage with Charlie Kirk as the head of his contracted security detail on September 10th when he was assassinated. It's been 2 months since this tragedy, and there are a lot of unanswered questions, and people are starving for some answers. I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in what you have to say today. But
all right, let's put this in perspective. Did you hear his credentials? You do not get that many credentials. You do not run your own company, executive protection company, on different continents if you don't know what the you're doing. Can we put that together? Is that fair? Don't play with this man. Don't play with him. I did 6.5 years as a police officer. I was on the SWAT team, and I'm better than 90% of y'all. This dude did 14 years, and he's been on his own executive protection company. That's not easy. Okay. All right, let's get to some of the other stuff. Let's go to clip 101. Roll it.
I've got my back to Charlie about, I don't know, less than 10 meters off to his right. And my area of responsibility, we had a lot of people coming up some staircases there, and it was starting to fill in. And so I was watching that, and I remember I heard the gunfire, and then I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard that bullet slap him. And so you hear 2 sounds, actually. And so you hear the actual shot, and then you hear the bullet hit him in the neck, like you hear it. And so in my head, I had an attribution to that. Oop, I know what that is. And so I turned, and when I turned, started running, that's when Dan grabbed him. And I mean, this is a live fire event. It's not, everybody thinks in hindsight, well, this is a one-shot assassination. No, in our heads, there's
You don't
fire.
know what that is.
There's fire. There's more to come, right? And so Dan grabs Charlie, and then
Who's Dan?
Dan was the guy standing right next to Charlie when he got shot on the stage, and then I was to the right of Dan.
Okay.
And so he grabs him, and then I turn and see him start to the ground, but then I'm just thinking gunfire. And then he's leading to the ground because I'm on his right, where he was shot right here in the left of his neck. And so I jumped down on top of Charlie to cover him, because where we're at, it's concealment at best. It's a tabling with cloth on it, so it's not hard cover. Our guys are starting piling back in, and they're down, putting a human shield around him, but it's still just concealment. It's not cover. And so I initially dove down on top of him and just was on him almost face to face. And then when I was doing that, I went down, I could see the wound. And so I immediately shoved my hand into the wound to stop the bleeding, just trying to find the pressure. And it was coming out still. And I'm on top of him, like close. And it was still coming out enough that it squirted through my fingers, and I could taste it on my lips. And so I was like, man, this is a bad wound, right? And so I was just pushing that, and I don't know at that time. I know when you look at the clock, I was on him within 5 seconds and had my hands in him. And then I don't know when I put the first piece of medical on him. It was sometime after that, because I carry it right here, and that's why you carry it on you.
Pause. Go back and look at my content. I told y'all, it's the evil people who are telling you something different. They jumped on him and immediately. You thought what you think they were doing? For all you fools out here, what you think they were doing? They were just standing there. These guys train for this stuff. I told you they probably was applying gauze to him, quick clot or something. Soon as you go in, you got to put your finger or your hand or something in there and try to press that wound. Because if you severed one of the arteries, if you can put your finger on it, you can stop it from bleeding. But you got to put your finger down in their neck. You got to put it down in it. When we used to train, people used to have wounds on the arm, on the legs. You got to put your finger down in their leg to get to the vein or the artery and hold down the artery to try to keep it from bleeding. You got to put your thumb down in their leg or their neck. That's not easy to do. I told you this is what they were doing. And then they go, there wasn't a lot of blood. Probably because he dressed him right there at the thing. He probably did that. A couple seconds later, he wrapped him, put quick clot in him or something. And that's why you don't see blood just gushing as they're running. But his shirt is covered in blood. Let's keep going.
You got to have it there. So, but then I remember pulling back away and thinking, damn, this is bad. Like it's coming out. And I don't remember saying this, but the guys told me, and you can kind of see it on the video. I said, prep the car. And I just prepped, and you see the two guys just take off. And that car's prepped in position, but what I mean, doors are open, I mean, the whole deal. And then so we're doing pressure control there, and it's a carotid artery, so you can't put a tourniquet on it, obviously. And in my head, I'm like, pack, pressure, pray, man. These are what you can do for that wound. But then, so I'm on top, and then I told the guys, we got to exfil. We're all out here in the open. We're trying to give wound care, and we got to get off this X, right? And so, but I just said, we're exfilling. And so we got up, I think it was like 15, 16 seconds from the time the shot happened to the time we were picking him up and heading.
15 to 16 seconds.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. And so
That's fast.
Yeah, and this is horrible, but
That is fast to get an initial assessment, plug a hole, pick them up, move them.
yeah, and so it's just like dang, and it's some horrible realities of it too. That like I told the guys this, and I haven't.
All right, hold it. But he made this up. He made this up. And the people that say he made this up, how many times have they teared up when they talked about Charlie? How many times do they tear up when they talk about Charlie? You know why they don't have an emotional response? Because they don't care and they wasn't even there. When you see somebody get killed right in front of you, I've seen people die in front of me and I didn't know them, and it's emotional. I'll never forget the guy whose pulse I checked in that car accident underneath Grand 19. I can never go to Grand 19 and never drive through there again without seeing this. He's dying. He's dead. He was dead. The lady was screaming. I run to the car, and I see him. He's crushed in the car. His head is hanging out because I guess he tried to get out the car. He couldn't. He was suffocated. But I had to check his pulse. This is live. This is real life. This is not a game. It's not a video game. It's real life. Somebody's daddy is here. Check his pulse, dead. Get on the air, no pulse. I saw them, they pulled the car open. The fire department came and ripped the car open, put him on the side, put a bag over him. Now, I had his wallet, and I opened his wallet to identify him. The man had a picture of his kids in the wallet. His wallet was in my locker for a week. I was supposed to turn it in to evidence. I left it in there by accident, and I remember seeing it every day, and it was almost paralyzing me. I was supposed to turn it in, but I couldn't get past the point of that this guy was somebody's dad. And their dad was dead. I saw him die, and they still didn't know when I was at the scene. They didn't even know. I couldn't stop thinking about that. Their dad is dead, and they think he just went to work. He's gone forever. He's in the bag right here on the side of the road. And when you see that stuff, it messes with you. But these cowards who out here just running their mouth don't know what that man going through. And some people have gone online and said these people are cowards and they're responsible for his death. Woo. Keep going.
When I jumped down on him, he had doll's eyes. And so I was like, man, these are wounds incompatible with life.
You knew.
Yeah.
You want to take a break?
How long ago since Charlie has passed? A couple months now? And that man still can't talk about this without having to take a break on the show. All your favorite people who talk all this trash about these men and all these people, when do they take a break on their show? When they take a break in their meeting, in their conferences, in their, what do you call it, on their interviews? They don't feel that. That's why I stand up the way I do for these people, because they don't feel that what they felt when they saw Charlie. They don't feel it. They weren't there. It's all smoke and mirrors to them. Let's go to the next clip, 102. And this is, let me preface these clips. I do a bad job. See, look, I don't do a show. Okay, it's my first time doing a show, and I'm off the cuff. But let me just preface these. This is the head of security. The UVU transformed the scene. They claim that they manipulated the scene and put the pavers over it or whatever the case may be. In the autopsy situation, he answers that in this clip. Roll the clip.
And you're hiding behind, well, we have to ensure that we don't taint a jury for this guy. And I have questions about that too. And so I have questions about that. And we talked about that earlier. Where's his call logs? His phone hits. Who'd he talk to 2 days, 4 days, 8 days beforehand?
Why do you think that they tore up and paved over the crime scene
Hold on, before
so
you do
quickly?
I haven't heard his response. I'll just tell you what I think, and I don't know if he's going to agree. There's two things here. First and foremost, it's not a crime scene anymore. Obviously, Charlie Kirk was the crime scene. The cameras were the crime scene. Once you get rid of that, none of that matters. But a lot of times when you have that much blood in a grassed area, you can't clean it. You can't just do a water hose and clean the grass. That blood soaks down into the soil of the grass. And it's a biohazard. So the people will have to come and dump some type of a chemical on the blood so that people don't get contact with somebody else's blood. That kills the grass. So it would make sense for them not to have a big patch of grass that's dead in the middle of that lawn. They just put pavers over it. But I haven't heard what he had to say. Let's see what he had to say. Roll the clip.
And asked that at least 10 times. And I said, I don't understand the exigency of why they did that. And here's my question to that. March your ass up to the school. Have you march your ass up to the school, or will you march your ass up to that school tomorrow and file a FOIA and say, hey, you're a public institution. I want the request and the plans that were made to tear that up and when those requests and plans happen. Because you're not going to request that, or you shouldn't request that overnight and have that done. That had to probably go through a budget request, had to be approved. There should be a timeline and paperwork for that. Mm-hmm. You should be able to get that through FOIA. And so do it. Make them tell us why that they tore that up before it was even cold. I want to know. Because it came back on us. That we had some trap door and they're covering up the trap door and we had a guy hiding in there.
Okay, that's actually my next question. I didn't hear about there was somebody hiding in the trap door.
A gun was hiding or something.
Heard there was a trap door or something. Was there a trap door in a tunnel system?
No.
There was not?
No. So, school, why'd you tear it up? Why did you tear it up? What was the exigency to tear up something that still people would... Did you not think that through? Like, hey, we might want to put a hold on that. This might induce questions to us. Mm-hmm. And it didn't. Nobody went back and asked questions to the school or said, hey, well, let's do a FOIA and do some back digging on that. That's not protected under this evidentiary gag order. Mm-hmm. Now let's just blame the security team because that's the easy way. Go do the FOIA.
You know, I mean...
So I see his point. He's upset that they got blamed for the university doing that. So I see his frustration in that. Roll it.
Back to the exit wound thing. You know, I mean, because we're talking about the tearing up of the crime scene and everybody's wanting them to find the bullet. I mean, if the bullet hit any bone at all, there is no bullet. It's just fragmentation.
Great point. And that was discussed already.
And if there was no exit wound in the autopsy, though, there should be. I mean, if there was no exit wound, then there should be fragmentation of the bullet would have fragmented into who knows how many pieces.
The doctor, and again, this is not a non-disclosure violation, but the doctor came out there and told us, and then they also told chief of staff. So the bullet came in and hit the vertebra, and so it came in and then tore up everything in the wound cavity, hit the vertebra, crushed it, shattered it, turned, crushed the second one, turned, kept going down all the way. I think they said C6.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, why not put that info out? Why not put it out? And then
why wouldn't they put that out?
And if do me a favor, don't make me do it. It's not my job. And so then it got to here, and you're exactly right. And then hit, I think, 6, and then fragged. And so explanation 101. What are you hiding? Yeah. It's like I'm sitting back here when people are saying we bombed him, or there's that wound. I'm like, hey, if somebody would, from an official capacity, would just release that, and I don't see how that could jeopardize a fair trial for a guy. And or somebody called the doctor.
Now let me add to this, because I know that he's upset, and I know that I understand 100% why. Because his mind is that they should release it because they're making the security team look bad. But let me just explain this real quick. you shouldn't release anything. The public shouldn't be stupid. To be honest, like the public should be like, just like we did this in Kyle Rittenhouse, we've done it in most of all the police shootings. Wait till the trial before you start making judgments. If I was a part of the FBI, I wouldn't release none of that. They shouldn't. There should be no ambiguity. Because if you go to releasing information about the autopsy and the tumbling of a bullet, now you got other questions on your hands. Because now people are going to want to know more stuff. Now there's more speculation. They need to investigate, did this bullet come from that gun? Before they tell you that the bullet went to traveling and dipping and doing all this other stuff. Because if the bullet didn't come from that gun, they're going to have to find out what bullet came from what gun and what direction. They don't need to disclose all of the stuff that goes on in the autopsy to the public, because the public is going to have their chance at a public trial where they're going to hear all this evidence and cross-examination. But if you go and you say, he was shot and it went through, it hit his vertebrae, it did this, it did that, and then that gun wasn't the one that shot him. Somebody shot him from over here. Now you're divulging information that could be identifying certain people that they're still looking for, giving a heads up to certain people they're still looking for, right? I mean, it's a lot of different things that could have happened that way. They do not want to tell how the bullet came in, how it went down in his body, because they don't want to tell what direction it's been hit. All of those things. I understand his frustration, but I've never seen a case where they tell you what the autopsy says. Rarely have I ever seen a case that they tell you what the autopsy says. They rarely do it. Okay, we got a couple more clips. Let's go to the accusation that it was Mossad in Israel, 103.
Do any of your guys have any ties to any foreign intelligence agencies, more specifically Mossad?
No, and I've seen that and heard that, and I've been in 39 countries in this world, and I've never been to Israel. I'm a firm Christian. I ask our guys, are you believers? We have no ties to Israel or Mossad or any other one. We're Americans, period. We believe in what we're afforded to do here. We believe in our system. And to say that we're Mossad or attached to any type of foreign entity, it's one of those, it's crap on its best day.
Do you have anybody on your team that you think could be tied to an extreme political party who is planning assassinations?
No. One, we're in each other's business. Where they have the time for it, I wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, you had mentioned some of these guys are on the road 250 days a year.
Yeah,
with Charlie.
Yeah, just working, and it's not just that. It's, I mean, a lot. We do a team trip every year down to an undisclosed location, and some of the guys are there now. Some of the guys left yesterday after that job ended. I'll be going down the night before. Tomorrow. So we know what each other does. We know their kids' names and their spouses, and it's like, if they're doing it and they're not, they wouldn't have time for us not to notice. And then the heart of these men that they're going to pour this out. It's like, yeah, you took an oath. I've taken an oath. Most of my guys have taken an oath. And it's different in the security industry. You're not taking an oath for your client, but you are taking an oath to each other. Mm-hmm. And so they wouldn't do that to the client, but they really wouldn't do it to me or to their coworker. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of those things. It's like, no, if you know us, those allegations become even more idiotic.
Yeah. And you say this with 100% certainty?
To my death.
Roger that.
To my death.
All right, we got two more. Let's go with Erica Kirk was not involved. 104.
I've done a lot of death notifications where I had to tell kids that their parents were dead or their parents that their kids were dead. And I know what pain looks and sounds like. I wake up screaming sometimes, thinking of kids' faces. The words that came out of her mouth and how they came out when she walked in that room and saw him, you don't want to hear that. She's a victim. That's her husband. And now people without any proof are saying that she was a part of killing him. Come on, man. And then not having anything to substantiate it with. That's what makes me lose faith in people. And that we allow it. And that platforms allow it. It's like, it goes against everything that we are. And if we're going to allow that, what else are we going to allow?
Perfect.
You hear that kind of pain coming from somebody.
How long is that clip? How many more seconds left? We gotta pull that thing up so I can see it. All right, finish the clip.
And see it. And I could only imagine the pain she's feeling now by happening to hear that people say that she was a part of it. Those are lies.
That's crazy. One more clip about Terrell and the footage. 105.
There was a man on the team who, after he was shot, I believe he was on the security team, runs towards the vehicles, hangs out outside the vehicles and takes, I believe it was a TikTok selfie video. Do you know who this is? Mm-mm. Can you pull this up, Jeremy?
Is it the one where he said Charlie just got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with the audio-visual team. Yeah, it's a company that they contract to shoot the footage. It's also the one, he's the guy that went up and
There he is right here.
Yep.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, he's the one that, if you see him, he's the one that's running the cameras.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the audio-visual team guy that's running the cameras. He's also the one that they said that he was hiding footage or whatever, that he turned over all that footage to the FBI. So,
He did. So this is also the guy that, or was that a security guy? If you look after the event, somebody goes to the camera that was behind Charlie, pulls the camera down.
Same guy.
Looks like he pulls the SD card out.
same guy.
And that footage is in the hands of the FBI.
Correct.
Wasn't deleted, wasn't erased.
He actually works for the company called VI, and they're a contract AV video people, and he's not a security guy. He works for the security the VI, the video company.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I don't understand, and it's not for me to try to understand that part, like the getting on the phone or that. I don't understand that, and you see that a lot nowadays. Tragic things happen.
Yeah.
Shootouts, and people pull their phones out instead of running, and so I don't understand that. That's for him to explain, not me. I know he doesn't work for us, but I also know from seeing some of the stuff that he's the same guy that took down the cameras, and people are like, "What's going on here?" Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm like, "Well, that's a legitimate ask. That's a legitimate."
I think that too.
I do
I
too.
don't think that's
a legitimate ask. Hey, and where did that go? And he was interviewed.
Let me, and I don't disagree with these guys, but I know Terrell. I've worked with Turning Point. I'm not doing security. I'm out there having to fight people at UC Day. I didn't fight nobody. If I fought people, it'd have been a highlight tape. Y'all still be watching. I wish I'd have did what I wanted to do. I'd be famous right now, probably. Y'all be seeing them go to sleep on the campus them Antifa thugs that was beating up people. But regardless of that, I know Terrell, so I know he wouldn't do that. And I know how the video team work. And when Andrew came out and said he was just taking the SD card so people wouldn't steal them, because, first of all, the video team is responsible for all that footage. Now, just imagine how much worse you feel if you abandon all that camera material, which is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and you let somebody steal the SD card. And now they have video of Charlie Kirk in 4K getting murdered. And what you think they're going to do with the SD card? They're going to go and take it and put it. They're not going to give it to the FBI. They're going to go watch it. They're going to reproduce it. They're going to share it with people. And if you're a responsible person, you're like, let me protect this real quick because these are my friends. And Tara has been with, ever since I can remember Charlie, Tara and them been there, editing videos and doing all this stuff. I remember them guys from way back. So the security guy may not know, but I know. I vouch for it. That dude ain't doing nothing nefarious. And let's put this baby to sleep. If he did steal the footage, what does that mean? You're saying that he stole the footage, which he didn't, but he stole the footage because he wanted Charlie to die? Do you understand that his job is Charlie Kirk? With no Charlie Kirk, there's no job. What other job they going to have that pays like Charlie Kirk in Turning Point USA? Where you're contracted to do all of that footage. Do you know how much money? It's got to be millions. It's got to be millions in AV. It's got to be millions. It's got to be millions in security. I got security, and I don't have 7 people traveling 200 days. Do you know how? I'll give you an example. Security, one guy with some augmentation here and there, cost me like $20,000 a month. One guy. Now imagine 7 guys. And I travel once or twice a week during this time where we accrue about $20,000. Imagine 7 guys traveling 200 times a year. Flights, hotel, per diem, salary. You're talking millions of dollars. And you telling me the people that are making millions of dollars providing security want the man that's providing that much work dead? You got to be stupid. That's a contract. That's a contract. If I was a security, if I had an EP, that's the contract I want. A guy for 3 or 4 years, millions of dollars a year in protection. Okay. All right, let's get to this lighthearted video. Then we're going to get to the BBC getting their sock suit off for what they did to Donald Trump. And I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. Let's get to the funny video, 401.
It's fresh because it just happened.
Hold on.
But
this is the craziest thing I've seen. I thought, wait till you watch it. I was like, what's happening to this woman? She's crying. She's upset. Something serious happened to this woman. Wait till you see what happened to her. Roll the clip.
it's fresh because it just happened. But my wife and I just went to the grocery store right by her house, just to buy like junk food and stuff, you know, because we're really tired. Just wanted some sweet treats. And we were walking down an aisle, and there were like 2 guys that walked up next to us. You know, Peyton like walked away, my wife walked away for just a second, and they were like snickering to themselves or something. And like I didn't really think much of it, so I'm just looking at the candy aisle trying to decide what candy I want.
Hold on.
And
she's distraught. She's upset. She's crying. What could she be crying about? Roll the clip.
he walks by and gets like inches from me and just rips one, like farts like this far from me. That's disgusting to say. I can't even believe I'm
Hold on. You crying because he farted? Somebody farted and you crying. And you're distraught. You and your wife are distraught. You on TikTok making a video because a dude walked by and crop dusted. That distresses you? Play the clip.
I mean to say this, but he did. And about that time, Peyton walked up, like didn't witness what happened, but like seconds later, and I'm like upset, and I follow after him. I was like, is there a reason? You were just so disrespectful to me. Called you an and he never felt so dehumanized.
Homeboy must have ate some bad food. She felt dehumanized. My wife must feel dehumanized. Sometimes I crop dust. Kids be crop dust. Everybody be farting. My kid came in the room the other day, farted while we was watching TV and laughed and ran. I was mad at him. But he did. He ran over there. I didn't think it was funny, but I didn't feel dehumanized. That must have been a crazy fart. That must have been a fart where you throw up when somebody fart. It's that stink. That's that stinky. A dead body fart. I don't sound like that. Y'all know some people be cutting up. They insides bad. They eating junk all day, chitlins, collard greens, mustard greens, and then they let one rip, and everybody feel like they in a crime scene. But raise your kids to have a little more than that. Where she's crying about being dehumanized because the dude farted and laughed. That's insane. All right, last video. Let's go to 402. This is a story that most people aren't talking about enough. The BBC is a state-run news organization. That means they're state-funded. So really, with them creating a fake video of Donald Trump and getting sued, it's essentially the country made an offense against Donald Trump, and he should sue the country for what they did to him. When it's state-run media, it means the state approved the media that's being disseminated. Everybody's been talking about how bad the BBC is. That is propaganda. Everybody know NPR is propaganda. The BBC is propaganda. And this is what they did to Donald Trump. We can't let this go. This is egregious. Roll the clip.
The BBC has formally apologised to Donald Trump after one of their programmes edited a speech he gave in 2024 before the last election.
A major talking point in the US, of course, has been Donald Trump's threat to sue the BBC now after that Panorama program edited up his January the 6th speech, trying to fit him up as encouraging violence that followed down there at those riots at Capitol Hill. Here's a reminder of what the BBC put to air.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Now, this sort of egregious editing and misleading media coverage doesn't really surprise a lot of us, but as I put to our US contributor, Kristen Tate, Donald Trump certainly won't be taking this lying down.
Good for him. I mean,
I always think of this, y'all. It's not what people do, it's why they do it. Why would they do that to Donald Trump? My editors here know. You know when you edited it like that. Somebody, and especially a big corporation like that, somebody watched it, somebody approved the edit, somebody approved the misleading edit, and they put it out there to the public. They know the original, and they misled the public to push an agenda. Roll the clip.
this was broadcast 1 week before the 2024 presidential election here in the United States. The BBC did this intentionally. They took out the parts of Trump's speech from January 6th, 2021, where he repeatedly said for his protesters to be peaceful. It's absolutely deceptive editing. This potentially reached tens of millions of people on all of the BBC's various platforms. And they are right to be called out by Trump. Some higher ups at the BBC have already stepped down over this controversy. And look, you know, Chris, it's okay to have an opinion. That's fine. It happens all the time on TV. What's not okay is to disguise an opinion as hard news. You know what that is? That is actually trying to interfere with an election, which is exactly what this was. And good on Trump for calling them out. I hope they pay up.
Trump was furious with the edit and threatened to sue the BBC for over $1 billion.
Are you going ahead and suing the BBC?
Well, I guess I have to. You know, why not? Because they defrauded the public, and they've admitted it.
and their top echelon.
Director
and,
General and the CEO
This
both
is
resigned.
within one of our great allies. This is supposedly our great ally, BBC. The government has a chunk of that one, I guess. But that's a pretty sad event. They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible. They're showing me the results later on, the results of what they did, how they butchered it up. But it was very dishonest, and the head man quit, and a lot of the other people quit.
The BBC went into meltdown and then desperately apologised to Trump.
This all started with the Panorama edit. I've just got this in. This is just breaking news, Emma, which relates to this story. We're just hearing that the BBC has apologised to Donald Trump over the editing of a speech which appeared on Panorama in 2024, adding it was an error of judgment and the programme will not be broadcast again in this form on any BBC platforms. So that's the BBC.
That wasn't an error. Even in their apology, they lied. How do you make a deceptive video and then lie in your apology? That's not an error. If any of my guys ever did something like that, it's not an error. You intentionally took that video, watched it a couple times, found the clip that you wanted to put where you wanted to put the clip in. You had to take it, you had to crop it, you have to cut out the middle, you have to place it in there, and you had to blend it so it sounded like there was one continuous sentence. You had to do a lot of work to get to that point. And then you have to render it and listen to it to make sure it makes sense. Then they probably showed another person. Does this sound good? Does this look good? And they disseminated to the public. And they would have never said anything about it. Nobody would have ever stepped down if Donald Trump hadn't threatened to sue them for $1 billion. I'm going to tell you what they did, and then I'm going to get up out of here. He said, I'm going to sue you. Their lawyer said, in order to receive mercy on this lawsuit, people need to step down and you need to take responsibility. And it is so egregious, and they're going to be paying so much money that the top people step down out of the company. The top people step down. This will happen to Tucker Carlson. What do you call it? Tucker Carlson at Fox News, where that fool lied about the Dominion machines and Fox got sued and settled for $1 billion. And what happened to him? He lost his job. Why? That probably was a part of the settlement. They finna get railroaded. It's crazy, man. When you rich and you famous, you make more money just suing people than you do doing anything else. Imagine them have to pay him $1 billion personally. That's insane. And people defame me all the time. If I'm gonna start suing people. I got to let them get big enough where I get some real money. I'm not going to sue you for a couple thousand. I want millions. I'll let one of these big time social media people come out and say I'm getting paid by Israel. Please do it. If y'all see somebody doing it, share it with me, and I'll share the money with you. Whoever bring me, I'll say it right now, whoever bring me evidence of a major person telling a lie about me and defaming me, send it to me. I will give you a reward. Because I'm suing them for millions. And when I get paid millions, I'm going to hook you up. I get paid a couple million, I'll give you 100,000. Show me these people lying. Show me a big time person declaring that I'm getting paid by Israel. $7,000. It got to be proof. And I'm going to run it by my lawyers. And if there's a defamation suit there and I win the money, I'm going to give you some. These people are crazy. I see a lot of people saying, I don't follow Brandon Tatum no more because he definitely getting paid by Israel. Do you know how stupid you got to be? You really mad at me for something that didn't happen. Imagine, it's like a man divorcing his wife because she cheated on him and she never cheated. He's built the whole thing in his mind. You were disloyal. I can't believe you did me like that. You broke up our family. I hate you forever. And he walking around hating this woman. Telling his family and kids that this woman done cheated, and it never happened. She never cheated. And that's how some of these suckers are doing with your boy B. Tatum. He a traitor. Somebody made a video today. He stabbed Candace in the back. This B don't know me or Candace. I text Candace the other day. I stabbed her in the back. Yeah, stay in your lane. You don't know me nor her, but you making a video because it's popular to jump on B. Tatum right now. Keep playing. It ain't going to be popular soon. This is what happened to me in 2020, and I'm going to shut up. Everybody jumped on me in 2020. Brandon shielding for the police officers. He doing this. He doing that. Brandon a liar. Look, he a traitor. See, that's why I don't follow him. Y'all did all of that. And it was a little bit rough for a little bit of time. And what happened? Because God knows that I'm genuine. I'm telling the truth. I act with integrity. And I'm not doing it just for the money. I do it for money. I make money. I mean, it ain't nothing in life free. These people ain't free. This building ain't free. They're $30,000 a month for this building. It ain't free. Do your math. How much money I pay you just for the building? They ain't talking about the electric bill in this month. We got how many people now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 include me. We got 6 people on this team. How much you think that costs? All right, so it ain't free, but I don't do it just for the money. I tell the truth. And one day I pray that God vindicate me. That's my prayer. God vindicate me. Because these people are saying I'm getting paid by Israel. They saying I'm bought and paid for by Israel. They call me out my name. They call me racist terms. People on my own side say I'm a traitor, say I don't care about Charlie Kirk. I'm not really caring. I'm not asking enough questions about his death. Monkey. They call me everything. Nick, did you just call me a monkey or did you say somebody else called monkey? Nick called me a monkey. He just called me a monkey right now. He just you can't get away with it because you said somebody else said it. No, I'm playing. But I like picking on Nick. What else they say about me? They say I denied the deity of Christ, which is a lie. I mean, you go down the list of all that. God is going to vindicate me one day. And I'm going to celebrate with my team when he do. I love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my